Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Thea 2 the Shattering. So we have some important stuff to do today, but before we do, let's talk really quickly about what is going on with the Lightbringers. So if we flip the map over to island mode here, my assumption is that there are Lightbringer villages on the starting island all the time. We don't know that that's true, but we've seen Lightbringer villages in all of our previous games, including the ones that I did off camera just to earn god points. So it's possible that that was a coincidence and you do not always get hostile Lightbringer villages, but I think it's much more likely that we do have villages on this landmass and they just haven't been able to be a problem for us because of the weird shape of the landmass. Like, if there's a Lightbringer village here and a Lightbringer village here, you could see how they might have a hard time randomly navigating the bottlenecks to find us, assuming they're not like pathing directly toward the village at all times, and that they are just kind of like wandering randomly, which seemed to be the case because we saw instances in the previous game where they could have attacked our village, but they didn't. It might just be that we're getting really lucky, which is to say that it is not necessarily safe for all of our fighters, especially the witch, to be away from town for a super long time. But as we have not seen even one party of Lightbringers wandering around, basically, I'm hoping that they will continue not to be a problem, and I think I want to try to pull up these two terrain artifacts before we go back, because I want the research points from them. So, we've already used up all of our movement for this turn, and we don't have the gathering skill necessary to pull any of this stuff. In theory, it would be a good idea to get one of the gatherers to come out and join us, but, I mean, we're talking about kind of a long distance here. I suppose we could go back to town and build a boat, which we have to do anyway, because remember, I do really want to check out the other islands to see how safe and valuable they are. And if we built a boat, it's a pretty short run over to the terrain artifacts. I think I'm just going to try to grab them with this party on the way back. And then we have to figure out exactly what we want to do with the advancement points. Okay, so camp here. Sorry, that's just not even the right button. You two work on that, and you can just gather meat very slowly. Okay. So they have some important business to get done. I'm wondering if it might be worth it to have one of the gatherers, because it's not super hostile out there. And again, that may just be due to the weird shape of our landmass here. So I'm wondering if it might be worth it to have one of the gatherers just run out and meet them halfway to grab the second terrain artifact. Let's see here, we have some fur robes. These will fit on Miko. And then yeah, we could just have who's got the higher gathering skill? We could just have Josia run out there and carry the cat with her to pass the cat to the witch. I actually think that's okay, and it shouldn't take her... She has 6 move? Yeah, it shouldn't take her too long. She doesn't need to take any wood. She could just take a little bit of food. She just needs to be able to make it over to the party, and then their bank of food will keep her safe. She doesn't need to take anywhere near this much, but I'll go ahead and let her have it. And on her way out, she can have a quick chat with the dwarf. Alright, your daughters make it back? They sure did. Thank him and leave. Try not to scold him about his parenting style. Seems like it's probably not a useful thing for us to do. So some silver medium armor. It's... honestly, that's really good shielding for the weight. I'm surprised that armor made out of silver is so light. I guess I'm used to looking at armor that's made out of gold, though. It's not even really necessarily that this is very light, it's just that the armor we're used to making is very heavy. This is great. 16 points of shielding. Alright, did that go into her inventory or the town's inventory? It's always a little weird. Yeah, it looks like it went into the town's inventory. That's a shame. Well, whatever. The people the expedition probably doesn't need it that badly. Okay, so while she's out doing this, what are we gathering? We have one person on each thing. You know, honestly, that's probably fine. Actually, we probably don't need wood gathering right now. We have 103 wood. Let's focus on grain for a minute here. Grain's a little awkward to harvest at some times. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's not actually like a hostile... Oh! Okay, it's the town that's involved in this. The town can probably take a difficulty 2 physical challenge. They should be able to handle that. Okay, 18 coal. Hey... Are we... This shouldn't be a problem, but just to make sure, yeah, please don't burn the coal. We might eventually need that for upgrading. So she's gonna get here just as they finish this, which is not like 100% ideal pacing. I should have had her set out earlier. Let's see, for you... Little... what are the skills that scale his energy scattering? Perception, Wisdom, and Destiny. But Destructive Words does scale off of Mysticism. But basically, I'm feeling like Intelligence is not that great for him. Perception does at least affect Gathering. And it does scale his main combat ability, at least in one color challenge. That's fine. Okay, I am here to help with the gathering. Can't quite get a turn off of that. We can gather meat slightly more effectively, and then, like... Also, we can do a small amount of cooking here. Okay, if we go berries and mushrooms... Sure, veggie bake, that's fine. It'll take us 2 turns to finish pulling up the terrain artifacts, so this works. And Migo has leveled up. It's probably strength for Migo. I mean, we do have him gathering and stuff. I think it's strength, though. You know, his primary value to the village is his extremely powerful bite. Uh-oh. Your village is attacked by creatures of darkness that assail every home with vicious ferocity. You stand firm and try to fend them off, but you are few. Just as you enter the battle, a man clad in armor, proudly holding a shield in his hand, stands with you, shouting, "For the guard, you shall not win, fiends of darkness." Okay. Is he gonna carry... He is totally gonna carry us through. Well, it wasn't just him. It was also Migo's very good bite. Thank you. Would you like to hang out and maybe do that again in the future? You walk the path of the gods, but my service lies elsewhere. Perhaps one day we will meet again. If not, I wish you well in your fight for the gods, but I leave you my trusted steed. Yeah, free horse. Cool. It's a pretty good horse. Apparently that horse is made out of horn and fish? Is that where horses come from? Do you build them out of fish? That's weird. Well, listen, I don't know anything about horses. I'm going to assume that the developers know what they're talking about on this. Okay, Zosha, it seems unlikely to me that we want to take a level of luck. Yeah, another 1.5 points of research is pretty valuable. Brute force is not terribly important. And then do we want more mass lullaby? Oh, she definitely doesn't need brute force. She's actually already good in all kinds of challenges. Alright, well there is terrain artifact number 1. What did we... Actually, I didn't even have a look here. What did we reveal? I only have to do this first. As you travel across the plains, you hear a screeching sound from a nearby patch of shrubbery. You come closer and see a small furry creature with yellow eyes and sharp teeth. Its body torn up and trapped in some orc-made snares. Wow, that seems horrible. If orcs left the snares, they might get angry at your meddling. What are we looking at here? Okay. It's a house demon. Leaving it to its fate may be a dangerous move, considering their good nature can be fickle if they are mistreated. And we haven't really met that many orcs yet. Like, what are the odds that the orcs who set these traps being angry with us will have any effect on our lives at all? Let's see if we can help them out. You get it free of the snares, but its wounds are clearly infected with some nasty poison. Toxic green stuff is spreading fast, and the creature doesn't even cry out anymore. It could be contagious. Being poisoned is not contagious. We can help him out. I'm sure we can pass a difficulty 2 yellow challenge. You manage to cure the poison and patch up the wounds, and the creature perks up within minutes. Gosh, that was a close one. I thank you, me dears. I thank you profoundly. Now, it would be tradition to offer up my services as a house demon, for I am a shak, but alas, I am otherwise engaged. Still, debts owed are a bruise on one's ego, so here, directions to a lair where valuable gifts await your rescue. Now, so long, friends. And with that, he disappears. Okay, he added a point of interest to our map, presumably. Oh, right there. That's new. Okay, we'll get right on that. I'm definitely not spending an advancement point to allow us to try to get the silver here. That terrain artifact... Okay, so we would want to gather it from here because we can get some herbs with the people who are not doing the artifact thing. Can I interact with the village? Yes, okay, it does only cost 1. Is there anything we can help you guys with? Nope. That's a shame. Our reputation with them could still use a little bit of a push. Alright. Random monster combat is not worth challenge point, or not worth advancement or research points, but it is worth some XP. It's only worth advancement if the combat is part of an event, it seems like. Alright, 4 turns on that, and that will give you guys plenty of time to gather herbs. And then we're still, like, in the middle of summer. We have a lot of time left to figure out exactly what we're building for the rest of the warm period. Or what we need to be gathering, really. It's hard to imagine that it's wrong to take strength on him. Alright, I'm hoping this turns out to be something really useful. A source of good stone would be great if there was granite under here. Okay, ruby. Actually, that is maybe even better. Ooh, do we want to grab strength of the swarm on Biaklava, or do we want another 1.5 of gathering? I really think strength of the swarm is very powerful. I have been thoroughly swayed on it. Okay, the part of the point of what we were doing here was to gain advancement points, but we currently don't really have a source of gems, and these aren't just gems, these are the highest essence gems we are likely to be able to find anytime soon. So I kind of think we want to spend an advancement point learning to gather rubies, and spend a little bit of time here grabbing these. Well, you know what? Hold on. Let's interact with this thing real quick first. You find a small abandoned house. Most of it has collapsed. You see signs that someone tried to move the debris to get to something, but their efforts failed. Well, maybe we should be taking that as a warning, but I'm greedy, so we're gonna also try to move the debris. It looks pretty easy to move. You manage to move the debris and find an old cellar. Perhaps this was once a bandit hideout, as it looks like it contains stashed loot. Much of the equipment has rotted away, but some is salvageable. Like this conch shell. Okay, that's a lot of, like, pretty bad loot, actually. 2 research points, though. Hard to be mad about that. Okay, am I going to do this? Hold on, let's talk to the village again. Our reputation with them is not anywhere near being able to hire people, right? Isn't that a thing you can only do over 50? I can't remember if that's something I heard from the game mechanics or from helpful comments. Let's just see if they have anything interesting to trade for. They probably won't. Yeah, it's a lot of, like, tier 1 gear. I suppose we ought to take all the coal we can get every time we have the opportunity to get some, though. And then we can sell them back something not great. This amber mallet, which I am very unlikely to use. And then we'll just take, like... take some trade value in mushrooms as well. I think that's probably fine. Okay, so we could get a single meat, and there's not really any reason for us not to take that. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Let's gather some ruby. Maybe I'll regret spending this, but there are so many things that are improved by the presence of gems. There's so many things that have extra options when you have some gem essence in them. So it is 540 gathering to get rubies. This is not, this is going to take a minute. We'll probably want to camp here for like 2 rounds of ruby gathering at least. Okay, so let's talk about research. We are going to get 60 total research off of our 2 terrain things. So that is still going to be enough to get us quite a bit of advancement. I think I want to get started on this right now. So let's just pull the people who are good at research. Well, good is a strong word. Let's pull the people who are best at research. And then, yeah, you two keep gathering food. Gather the food that isn't fish, because fish will be easy enough to gather during the winter. And you know, sometimes we have these periods where, like, not a ton happens. Oh, we have this thing again. Let's have the Zerka observe them. Yep, another Manoviak. Well, let's trick it out of our friend's body and then kill the blob with fire. Oh, you kill the blob with fire, but the purple smoke proves toxic. Okay, in the past, that has been a good outcome. Unfortunately, now we have the toxine. Not a lot we can do about it. Oh, and Migo still did gain 2 destiny permanently. So maybe the permanent stat gain is just from the end of the event, not from the choice to burn the thing. Bratomir, like, there's not really a chance that we use Poison Throwing Dagger, right? Yeah, we're just never gonna do this, so we may as well take the luck. It doesn't do a ton for us, but man, that poison's really powerful, huh? Yeah, geez, it drained Bozadar's health completely. He might die from that. If he does, there is a ritual you can use to... I don't know if it respawns your house demon, or if it spawns a new house demon. Obviously, it would be better for us if it was a respawn thing. But geez, that toxin effect is, like, really powerful. He's not even... This is the turn that it wore off, right? Yeah, it was a 3-turn duration. Okay, are we good on gathering here? We have 32 rubies. I guess let's sit here until one more round of gathering is complete. Yep, there he goes. Well, how does this work? It was one of the rituals, right? It might even be a thing we have to look at here. Use better resources to get better results. Adds 1 revive token to Guardian Demon or revives it if dead. So it does say revives it, not spawns a new one. We're not quite going to get 2 advancement points off of this. I think we can spare 1 advancement point to pick up that ritual. And we know it's a ritual that we want to get anyway, because our idol in this village is pretty crummy. Do not perform outside the village, it won't work. You will lose resources for no value. Alright. So, I probably am going to wait on that, though. Let's get the research done. Let's send people back home. You can check in with these guys one more time. We could just give them a bunch of stuff. We know that this gives a little bit of rep, but it really is just like a very, very small amount. We have to give them 50 wood. And it's going to give us like 1 point or something, right? 2 points, yeah. Well, I mean, we need to slowly push our favor with them up. It's just a little slower than I would have liked. An old man finds his way into your village again. Oh, this is the one that wants a healer. Unfortunately, we do not have one of those. Alright, listen, if you're so smart, you teach us how to build a thing. And we should be able to pretty easily prove that we are smart enough to teach here. Wow! 3.6 points of crafting on Bratimir. That's very impressive, actually. A group of elderly humans approaches you. Well, we don't know who these guys are, but hospitality is generally a good thing, right? Ah, thank you. It is good to see some common courtesy in this troubled world. I am Professor... Vilkoglov, perhaps? And these are my colleagues. We are scholars, you see. If you let us stay with you a while and feed us, we'll teach you a thing or two. Sorry, ask more about scholars. Our world was not always in such turmoil. Centuries ago, before darkness came, we had cities, universities. Now, since creatures of the night haunt our dreams and the light of day seeks to burn our souls while the earth continues to shatter, well, there's little time for knowledge. Yet we endure. As learned men and women, we gather knowledge and write it down. What do you mean, ask what for? For the future, of course. Once the world returns to a semblance of balance, we will once more require knowledge. It is our best weapon, our only savior, our grace. I would say that when the world is in really dire straits, that is when knowledge is needed most. But, alright. Yeah, we are in no, we are suffering no dearth of food. Scholars stay a while and pass on what knowledge they can before they move on. They also leave a gift. They've made our rat so much wiser. Okay, I thought maybe like the gift. Oh, they left us a little bit of clay. Well, that's not even valuable. Okay. I think I'm just gonna take wits on Yuzia. Because wisdom is not the scalar for her weapon attack, right? Yeah, it's intelligence. We could just... Yeah, I think wits is right on her. And then for you, I guess wisdom? Wisdom over the wits on a character who we're hoping will not have to engage in a lot of combat. Alright, let's figure out the story with this ritual. So we still don't have... Well, you know, we could just make a new idol out of ruby. Well, yeah, what if we did that? Secondary material, 100 of some kind of food. Use better resources to get better results. Consult the idol crafting recipe. Okay, yeah, this should be better, because it's right now it's just made out of normal wood, right? So, like, if we take a quick look at the crafting recipe. Yeah, what we have right now, like, let's pretend that we had another seed. What we have right now is an 28-point idol. But with the ruby, it's going to become a 46-point idol, which is like, yeah, like hugely better. Okay. Finding a good use for it already. You guys are definitely not wasting your time on that noise. Let's get some rituals done. Turns out this goblin is actually tremendously valuable. 113. We can get this. Well, we're getting it down to 3 turns either way, I guess. You're both really good at gathering. Can we pull? No, you're also really good at gathering, and you unfortunately have 2 little rituals to get the thing down by a turn. So I suppose of the 3 people who can do the job, you 2 are equally good at gathering. Alright, fine. You do it. Alright, so in 3 turns we'll have our Guardian Demon back, and also we will have a better town. And then we just need to be doing some gathering, replenishing supplies. Probably don't need to gather any more bone. Yeah, alright, let's just do it like this for a moment. And then we have enough advancement points to get to the 1-star version of a weapon anyway. Alright, so has that resurrected? It has indeed. Bozidar is back. It is not. It is a new Bozidar. Well, that's a little bit of a shame. Ooh, look at that. The art on the Idol of Gems is vastly superior to the old idol. But yeah, that is a pretty huge upgrade. Alright, let's go have a look at our advancement menu. This one. This advancement menu. So I really did want to have one more advancement point available for weapon crafting, but I have to say, the ruby... Grabbing the ability to mine rubies was absolutely the right call. So what are we doing here? We want to get an upgrade to something. We don't really need a book upgrade because we only have one character who really benefits from books, right? And she already has a good one. I don't think anybody else has quite the level of mysticism and intellect that they would need to really benefit from the book. So, is it physical weapons? Is that what we're after? I guess the thing is, if we learn to make better physical weapons, we only have a couple of people in the party who will actually use them. But that's true of every weapon type. Is we can learn to make wands, but... if we learn to make wands or artifacts, we probably can't make one that's much better than this. So really, we would still only be building them for 2 or 3 people, right? That scaled artifact is actually already fine. Yeah, I guess we're just trying to build a physical weapons, because the 2 physical attacking characters are definitely the weakest. Okay, the cat was supposed to be assigned to the witch. The witch does not need to have this dog. The hunter already has a dog. So who wants this? We have somebody... I'm trying to remember who now. Again, the downside of playing a small amount every day instead of just, like, binging the game the way I ordinarily would. There's somebody who's, like, good in yellow challenges but doesn't have a lot of yellow health, right? Is it you, Zosha? Oh no, Zosha's the one who does have good yellow health. Because we could put the wolf on somebody just to increase their max sanity more than the perception. But I guess Milena has Ghostly Axe. Yeah, alright. There's another person who actually benefits from the perception. And then the horse can go on Myslave, because he is usually out adventuring. His armor is actually better than this. Let's see, you have a little bit under 100 weight available to you. Can we give her these robes at least? And then, I don't know what we're going to do with all this armor. Because a lot of it is not really the kind we want. This is a pretty poor crafting tool. Yeah, so I guess a lot of this stuff is just getting sold. This shield, though. Yeah, this shield is considerably better than the shield that my Slav is using. And then, like, Bozidar should have a shield. Yeah, and then can you... You cannot carry this. Jossie is just going to have an open hand, I guess. We're definitely having some problems related to carry weight. It may well be the case that we are not prioritizing strength highly enough on the non-warrior classes. So, do we want to build stuff with the 2 advancement points we have, or do we want to get a 3rd advancement point so we can go all the way to 2-star weapon? Or do we want to get the 2-star version of the light armor and then just build ourselves some very basic weapons? My guess here is that we would find that the very basic weapons are not actually an upgrade over the things we already have. But being able to build a better class of light armor does seem awfully useful. Let's pick this up. Because I feel like that light armor that we just gave the witch is not amazing. So if we were going to craft ourselves a little bit of light armor, I think we want 2 pieces, right? So we have some people wearing some light armor that is not totally ideal. 4.8. Migo could maybe use some better stuff. Yeah. What does good light armor look like? Well, we can make it with ruby. My guess is going to be that that's the way we want to do it. Increase to maximum faith. If we were to sub in some like wood, there's a lot to be said for the ruby, I think. So we go 15 points of flat shielding or 7 points of all color shielding. I'm inclined to go this way. Because, like, the characters... I guess, for Migo, maybe it should just be physical armor. But for the Hunter and the Witch, we definitely want the all-color protection. So let's say we want to do 2 of those. I'm just going to commit the designs here so that we remember the decisions we have made. So I'm going to need, in total, 72 ruby in order to get this done. So, who wants to go on an expedition? We don't really need a lot of people on this, and in fact, it might be okay to just send the Gatherer out, because I think we're going to be in reinforcement range of the town. We can leave everybody else behind to do this gathering. And actually, that being the case, I'm going to send both of the Gatherers. Because we should definitely send 2 people, right? There will be 2 gathering slots on it. We should be utilizing both of them. And we are short. We're short 12 advancement or 12 research points on the next advancement, and then another advancement beyond that before we can make the best quality of any particular weapon type. So we need to figure out where we're going to get all these research points from. A bit of research is very inefficient at actually generating advancements, so I don't think it's going to be that. We can gather like some of this stuff, and we're still definitely going to need a lot more gold. And yeah. Oh, I didn't give them any food though. Let's maybe resolve some of that. And they are going to need wood as well. They actually are going to be encamped for some amount of time. If you are camped but you don't have any supplies to burn, it doesn't just affect your like rate of healing, it also does actually slow down your gathering. You know what, they might not actually be... Okay, cool. This time they actually did want us to kill something. Where is... Oh! I think that's the something. Well, that's pretty convenient. Here, we can actually just have the hunter jump out of town for a second. There we go. Which rats are your cohorts? Dominate the vermin and make them leave. Yeah, let's do that one. That's a difficulty 1 challenge. I think she's got it under control. Wow, that's actually a pretty good sword. And she got a spiritual blessing. Oh, and we got some research material. That's actually wonderful. Research material is very convenient. We don't have to be in a big hurry on this, but I guess our gathering is not a high priority. Can we get this down? We cannot get this down to 1. Alright, we can ask these guys if they have any other tasks for us before going to gather. I guess it doesn't really matter where we do this, because we're definitely going to have both people on rubies. Like, we're not actually going to be gathering any herbs. Okay, so that's a significant amount of rollover. Should be able to gather some of this stuff pretty quickly. Definitely leveling up bite. Oh, I probably need to cook. 4603. Yeah, okay, so we're starting to run pretty low on some things. Let's have the people who are worst at gathering. Can I do that? It doesn't look like I can do a sort by gathering on the screen. So real quick, it's Rat and Bozidar. Rats are great cooks. That makes total sense. For real though, never let a rat cook anything. There's a 0% chance that they will not simply eat all of the dry ingredients. Okay, probably want to take the intellect on Zosha. I guess we scale wisdom on our attack, not intellect. So maybe we'd be better off taking... It's destiny on purple, right? Yeah, we might be better off taking the destiny then. Okay, we just need another 23 advancement points, that's all. No big deal. So we need 72 ruby. A couple of your folk found themselves a child in the cabbage patch. Are you sure? Did they? Okay, there we go. Porky. Oh hey, a second goblin child. Excellent. So I've been told by a couple of people now that we saw a very limited selection on the classes for our first goblin because you need a child of a race to train that race up in that race's special classes. So we should see more options with the new goblin child. Hopefully. Real quick, where are we at on rubies? We have 12 rubies in town. And 22 rubies here. So that's 34, and we needed 72. So we have to let the ruby gathering happen like 4 more times before we're ready to come back. You probably don't want luck, but yeah, max faith and max health seem fine. And when we get this done, are we going to be in a position to go and do the Red Ridge quest? I have no idea, actually. Do we want to swap our cooks over to the other food types? Yes. Yes, we absolutely do. An old woman comes to your gates at night asking for shelter. Greet the sister, but warn her that you will not abide any dark deeds here. Good fortune, then. From where I normally go, I have had me a good chance of getting whipped, burned, or chased away. Now, we are totally witch-friendly here. Propose a duel of the spirit, one witch against another. Should we do that? Is that a thing? I mean, I could definitely win a purple difficulty, too. Wow, serious injuries. Well, I probably am not going to be able to apply a lot of strategy here to do better, since we're only able to use the one character. So we lost a lot of faith there. We'll be alright. We got actually a pretty good wand and some herbs and a second cat. This is a higher tier cat. You allow the woman to stay the night, and when you wake she is gone, but she leaves her blessings, and even a small gift for your hospitality. And she left us some research material. Or rather, she was some research material. New kid is not going to be of any help at all on this, so you can just go gather. Yep, no brainer there. 2 points of perception on the hunter. We need to see over 60 ruby in the inventory of the expedition before we're ready to come back. And I suspect we're going to have to make a number of trips back out here. Alright, we're actually getting pretty close on that next advancement point. Stop doing this stuff. Go and gather this, and you know, we actually really need to replenish our fish supply. We've used a lot of fish very quickly. Crossing a woodland grove, you see a flickering of light, and you sense the fluctuation of mystical power. Which group is this? This is the Gatherers, okay. As you approach, you see the woodland shake as two spirits fight. One clearly emanates darkness, and the other shines as bright as the sun. The light spirit notices you and pleads, "Quick, aid me! This dark spirit seeks to corrupt this place, twist it to its own dark will. I am weakened. Please, help, or at the very least, stay out of it." Okay, through your domain you feel the dark spirit reaching out. We are very dedicated to the magic domain this game. You sense it is the spirit of darkness that is weak here. It seems to have no strength to speak to you, but you feel it reaching out for aid. Well, we're probably not actually going to be able to help here, right? That said, this is a concept challenge. There's not really probably a negative result for failure. Yeah, let's just hit the thing. Okay, total defeat. No big surprise there. You weaken the spirit of light enough that the darkness is able to break it. The effort causes an explosion of dark energy, and a lingering dark mist washes over the grove, twisting the plants and trees instantly. It also hits you and hurts you badly. There's only silence and darkness left now. Okay, so that's a pretty serious spiritual curse. But the damage isn't really meaningful, and we'll be able to deal with the curse. I'm not too worried about that. So, new Bozidar can get counterattack or ghostly axe. Counterattack is not amazing. Interesting that they both scale with perception, though. Yeah, I think let's take ghostly axe. I'm a big fan of that skill. And then we should also probably take a thing on our other character, because you have to, because that's how leveling up works. Alright, and there's the witch hunt to remove our curse. We need to give her 40 something. Probably fruit, right? Okay, no negative consequences whatsoever. We have enough ruby now. I guess we should just go back. No sense in staying for one more gather, because one more gather would not be enough to allow us to build anything else anyway. See if they... Nope, they don't need anything from us right now. I'm not going to bother giving them building materials. You come across an unusual group of travelers. A huge spider queen who is sitting atop a wagon, several smaller spiders rushing around her, a few bees flying, a Zerka, and a human warrior. Their heated discussion halts when they see you. They draw weapons and stand ready. "Hold! Who goes?" shouts the warrior. So we know that this is a traveling party of stingers, right? We definitely don't just want to attack. I would love to befriend the stingers, if that's a thing we could actually pull off. They cover the wagon, but you spot a lot of blood bones stashed away. They look at each other. The Zerka speaks. "You are not one of us, so we do not wish for your help. Please leave us be. I think that you should hear us out." Okay, so yeah, this is the same story as last time. Slavians felt we were disrespectful, and they burned our young. We gotta reclaim the nest, and they will give us some blood bones. I agree to help. Also, they give us a whole lot more blood bone. Okay, so where's the point of interest for that? I think it's one of these, right? I remember, this is the Red Ridge camp. Oh no, this is the, these are both for the Red Ridge thing, because this is the scavenger camp down by the water. This is new, I think? Yeah, it might be that. Well, I think I'm just going to get these guys back in town right now. Crafting is faster, enemies are aggressive during the day as well as at night. That's totally fine. We'll have somebody go grab that soon. What weapon do I have you equipped with? Okay, a weapon that scales with wisdom. That is totally the right call then. I think our stat builds are a lot more solid on these characters than they have been on previous characters. Hey, didn't I queue up these crafting tasks? Maybe if a crafting task sits empty for a while, it sort of naturally flushes out of the queue. Yeah, look at how much more effective we are at everything now that we have a real village idol. We may as well, yeah, rush through these. So we are a single research point off of the advancement. I think this is definitely one of those situations where it would actually be worth doing a bit of research. The characters who are good at research are busy right now, so we could just have... are we going to be able to get this down? Yeah, we can get this down to 2. Yeah, we'll just have you idiots do it. And then... but we have a lot of grain. So it's possible that it's right to spend an advancement point on a cabbage field, or a crop field rather. It would be 2 points of advancement even. Children's playground, that's what I want. Just to make it more likely that the goblin can level up into something interesting. But I think I'm going to stick to the plan here. You notice that a bunch of your resources are gone. Like really, a lot. A whole lot of things disappeared. You could swear you followed their traps only to find they led you, or tracks, only to find they led you right back to the village. Well, let's have our hunter do a better job of tracking. The thieves must have worn their shoes and horseshoes backwards to confuse anyone following their tracks, but now you have the right trail to follow. Okay, well that takes care of that then. So, new point of interest down here. Wow, both of those ruby robes came out garbage quality, huh? The odds of that are not very high. Well, are they still better than the stuff that we're wearing now? This is a 4.8 increase in just red shielding. Yeah, I guess so. We need to go and get some more rubies to increase the quality of these things. Even though it is quite a bit less red shielding, I think it's still right to do this for her. And then I guess the kid could wear this. And we only have one person using a wand right now. I guess let's give the kid the other good wand. Wands are nice and light. No, can we not? Okay, there we go. And then also, do you want this cat? Maybe we can make a goblin witch. Okay, we do need to make a gathering tool for the kid as well. Oh, we should be a lot better at doing so now. After we finish this, a gathering tool of... We still don't really have great resources for this kind of thing. Yeah, let's not worry about it right now. Hold on. Let's finish that last ruby robe. Terrible winds rise above your village. You could swear you hear screams and wailing from the skies. Let's use our wisdom to figure out what on earth is happening here. Typically, you would expect Vili to ride the storms, but these winds and sounds seem more attached to grieving souls. The Taviek is the common name for wandering spirits that died violently and were lost in the winds. forever searching for revenge, unable to take root in any one place. Well, since this storm is unnatural, let's have our witch perform a ritual to try to ward from it. That's a hell of a ritual. Got ourselves some enchanted bone, which is... wow, that's a very good crafting material. And 8 enchanted bone is enough that we might actually even be able to use it for something. You ward off these unfortunate souls, and the winds carry them onward. Right, all of a sudden, we're doing really well on advancement points. Okay, kid probably takes the points of destiny. You rarely need both mysticism and destiny. I'm wondering if maybe we'd be better off just taking wits here. I think I'm going to do that. Alright, did we make a garbage quality? No, okay, this one's actually fine. This is going to be the best outfitted rat in the entire world. We could still give him some jewelry. You know, that, honestly, is a thing that it might be worthwhile for us to learn how to make. So, if we were going to make a gathering tool for the kid, it's probably just wood. Just straight wood. We actually have just enough leather to make a leather gathering tool instead. What is the kid's gathering stat? It's actually already above 10. So yeah, we'll make a percentage tool. We could go out and get ruby before doing it. If we did that, we would certainly make a much better tool. Now, let's just go ahead and use the leather. Because if we're going to go out and grab ruby, we probably want to use it to build better armor. Make ourselves some new armor that is maybe not totally garbage. I keep closing out of the city menu, and what I actually want to do is switch to a different tab. Okay, I'm going to throw some bodies out there real quick. We have a couple of nodes to go and grab. Give them like 10. They probably don't even need this much. Alright, everybody else can just... That button is not at all... I was clicking on that like it was a button to change page. That's just like extremely not what I want. This is what... That is the button. Yeah, it's probably the case that this group will not make camp at any point. Well, let's give them the stuff just in case. Alright, you find the lair of the thieves who stole your goods. We can parley with them, since several of our people are so very attractive. Convince them that this is not worth the trouble, and you can be friends instead. Or we could set a trap, the advantage of which is that we cannot take damage while attempting to do it. Probably there's a better outcome available from this. Setting a trap, obviously, probably leads to us killing them, which might end up not being the ideal option. Yeah, let's try to talk our problem out here. Victory with minor injuries. Okay, so we got all our stuff back. You do talk well and look good. Must be that Lotta goddess rubbing off on our sorry asses. Here, have your shit back, and let's drink together. Okay, wow, we got 15 scavenger rep for that. That is a much better outcome than the trapping would have led to. And even more research material. We're getting pretty lucky with the research material drop rate here. Okay, so we want to go and investigate that as well, although I guess that is a next turn kind of problem. Oh, this wheat field is in range of town. Town is already working this. So we have to decide, do we want to try to do this Red Ridge camp thing now, or do we want to attempt to... Oh, we're definitely taking more gathering here. Do we want to go to a new continent first? Here, this is for you. No, this is too heavy for you. Wow, actually, it's just, like, really heavy. Like, weirdly heavy. As is this wand, actually. we have a thing we can give her that is fewer weight units? Not really, huh? Okay, well, sorry, kid. You're gonna have to just be unarmed. We can't even re-armor you. Weight limits are not a joke. Stuff is actually really harsh. Okay. Desperately need to replenish the fruit supply. Also, the fish supply apparently has gotten quite low. And wood. Yeah, I'm very pleased with our position now that we know there are rubies so nearby. Alright, whatever our decision on all the other stuff, I feel fairly confident we want to go ahead and do this and then talk to that village again first. You stand atop a small cliff, and below you see the remains of a quarry. It looks as if it's been mostly depleted, but you know these places can still hold good resources. As soon as you climb down, you see the stones below move in unnatural ways. You quickly realize they must be rockers, young trolls. There's always danger of a parent nearby. Well, we don't really know if you can talk to trolls, like if this particular type of mythological troll is like a smart being. If we approach them, it's possible we'll get some kind of diplomatic possibility with the parent. It's also possible that the parent will be enraged. I mean, both of these assume that the parent is nearby. But it's also possible the parent will be angry about us approaching the child, and we'll end up with a much more difficult physical challenge that we can't actually do. Let's find out. I'm too curious for my own good. The rockers see you approach and panic. They scramble around frantically, causing the whole quarry to shake dangerously. You also feel the rumblings of something bigger coming this way. Yeah, so like this is basically, are you down to murder some children because they might be scary children? I think the answer is no. Let's just disengage here. We get our research points either way, it turns out. Also, hold on a second. I still have people on research. If you're going to be on research, at least do this thing. Alright, you find the cave of the spider cult's nest. There are indeed Slavian guards posted. Well, I'm sure we can just talk them out of their posts here. Serious injuries. I bet we can beat that if we do it manually. I sure hope we can, now that I've committed us to it. Okay, so it feels to me like the smart play here would be to go random blast quickly, but it is of course worth noting that Biaklava now has Strength of the Swarm. So maybe we want to commit this first. Because with the hammer damage spreading, the extra damage from Strength of the Swarm is really nice. Plus, it turns out Biaklava has actually a considerable amount of armor. Yellow armor now. I think I'm gonna just put you down again. To eat that snare, but... Do we have any shielding abilities on anybody else? I know Biaklava has one. Let's see, we do have the boar to help protect us from a little bit of damage. But I am inclined to think I want to play as many things that only cost one as possible here. Yeah, we could throw you down with an outmaneuver. Outmaneuver is actually pretty fast. It's faster than most of the actions that are still on the field here. Jesus. Look at the damage values. Well, I can certainly see how this turned out to be such a damaging result. So, we don't actually want to play here. We want to play this here. And then I think we do want to play the boar. Right, unless anybody else has a better idea. I think we do want to play the boar, because we gotta have the boar absorb one of these hammer blows. Which means we need to just pass for right now. I definitely don't want to play anybody here. Okay, that's going to save us quite a bit of damage. And then we have a 1. Well, I mean, it's probably we play Jasia. They've all played in a line here, so like the hammer blows are going to be really powerful. It's just that we're going to take a ton of damage. Do we have an ability that would be more relevant? I don't really want to commit Milena or Bozidar to the field. And I'm a little worried about playing like anywhere with all of their splash damage. But it's probably not right to just leave a card off the table, right? It's probably better... Oh, you have to go in front. So that would give this guy's splash attack more damage and this guy's splash attack more damage. Which is in a really crappy spot here. But I really do want to play another person, because look at the damage from Biaklava. I'm also kind of debating just running away a little bit here, because they're going to deal a lot of damage to us, right? So this happens before almost anything else. Our boar's going to deal 1 damage to this guy. Then this guy's going to annihilate the boar, and when he does so, he's going to gain a ton of shield. And then this attack and that attack happen. That's not going to be anywhere near enough to kill this guy, and then he's going to gain a ton more shield. This time it's going to be like really a large value because of all the splash damage. And we're going to take 19 and like another 10, and then 22 and another 11. So Biaklava dies. Yeah, we have to retreat. We have to forfeit the challenge. Abandon this quest and leave. Sorry, Slavian. We only lost 1 point by doing it that way. But, like, that was just not... It's not that that quest was not doable, but the way the battlefield had laid out there was really bad for us. What is the... Oh, this is the Divine Path quest. Right. I remember now. I remember why that's not dealt with yet. Well, do you guys have anything else that needs killing? No, of course not. As we'll camp and provide a little bit of improved regen. We certainly have the wood for it. And then... I still don't really feel comfortable with the Red Ridge thing. Let's get back to town and figure out our weapon situation. And then plan a little bit more from there. Also, how long until that goblin child grows up? 30 turns, okay. What I was thinking is that if it's soon, we could have the kid... We could wait until the kid grows up, see what class the kid becomes, and then make our weapon decision. Because especially if the kid grows up into something that makes use of mysticism, obviously it'd be worthwhile to build another book. So that's a 1.3 modifier with a 24% increase to personal shielding. It's like a pretty significant amount of shielding. So right now we're hitting for 10 when we put the card down, and then 13 on the actual attack, whereas this would hit for 16 total. Pretty quickly, actually. It's only got 3.5 delay, whereas there's 5.7 delay on this. Not actually sure if it's better. Like, this is a lot of shielding. Hey, we'll keep the spear for now. That free damage probably does add up. Unless we're just building him a new weapon right now. But we know we want to build, at the very least, a one weapon that uses perception, because our hunter's weapon is pretty old, right? Yeah, we could probably do better than this. So do we just want to... It may be the case that we just want to do more javelins. We have a couple of other people who are, yeah, perception focused. It could be the case that javelins turn out to be really good for us. Let's buy the ability to make javelins. This also opens up bows, which, who knows, we might use. I like the combination of the ranged attack plus the first strike. That does seem pretty good to me. So, javelins, good javelins, are made out of stone, metal, bone, or stone. Well, it turns out we have a lot of pretty good metal. So, 1.6 and 1.2, those are pretty good modifiers. Or 1.1 and 0.8, but it's true damage. If we threw in another type of material here, what kind of... Wondering what kind of essence could we unlock? Or what kind of bonuses could we unlock? Ooh, that would be really nice. Shield Leech on the weapon attack would be great. That's if we can get some stone in there. We can't really, though. We don't even have a source of granite. I mean, we could do, like, sandstone. But no, the sandstone gets us under the threshold for even building the elemental weapon. Well, that's a shame. What if we did it with bone? Okay, bone gives us life leech, which is less good. Yeah, it's a shame we don't have enough enchanted bone to just make one really good set of javelins to carry us for a while. I think I would rather have... How much lower was the modifier when we do it this way? Or I guess if we were going to make them out of bone, we'd use blood bone. It's actually the same modifier. It's still true damage, it's just also life leech damage. We're very close to having the granite to do this. We could see if we can trade a point of granite off of the Slavian. We need just a little bit. You guys are still working on that. Yeah, we could go see him. We did build a trading post in our town, right? We do that? No, we totally didn't. I was gonna say, there hasn't been a trader anytime recently. Well, unfortunately, the research is not going to get us quite to the next advancement point by itself, so we do have to, like... We have to get lucky from loot, or we have to get lucky from trade, if we want to get ourselves another point of good stone. Well, let's try to get lucky from trade. Let's just send, we'll send a quick expedition over there. I probably don't need 50% of the food. Okay, you don't have any movement. We only need to make one javelin. Please tell me you have a single point of granite. No, you do not. Of course you don't. Well, that's extremely inconvenient. What you do have is a little bit of dark wood. Just kind of whatever. Well, while we're here, I suppose we may as well grab all of that every time. 200 values. Like, we're definitely not using this leather artifact for anything. Then I guess we may as well see if they have any quests for us or anything. Nope. Let's visit the tavern and just drink. I don't know if I want to do some gambling. We could lose important stuff, including some of the granite that we already have. Yeah, let's just get really drunk. Slavians may be known for their drinking, but you're a Slavian too, after all, even if not from the same branch. So you drink with them hand in hand, and they are impressed. Okay, that's a pretty good outcome right there. Well... yeah, there's no other way for us to guarantee get granite. If we had another advancement point, we could take this, and doing so would give us 10 more granite and allow us to build the good harpoon. I keep looking around, hoping that I've missed a source of it somewhere. No such luck. Well, maybe this would be a good time to build that boat, huh? The day is clear, yet suddenly before you hangs a singular dark patch of thundering clouds. It's moving fast, but it will not cross your path. Hey, look who it is. Find a spot to observe the clouds and see a hairy, two-horned hoofed creature riding a small yet very sprightly goat. Hey, guy, you look distressed. What's wrong? This Xart clearly has a swollen tooth. You've seen enough to know that a good blacksmith can do the job just as well as a healer. That's horrible. Offer to help, at a demon price. The creature looks unsure, but nods its head in agreement. You take out some tongs and make quick work of the swollen tooth. He's probably not super happy about that. Would you pay for my mercy, then? His mercy? Remind the creature of your services. You know what? We did not actually make a formal deal with him first. Maybe that was a mistake. Well, I'd prefer not to just kill him. Creature does not add anything, only jumps on the goat and rides off without so much as a thank you. Well, at least it's not a great outcome, but at least it's not a bad outcome. So with the extra advancement, or with the extra research from that, we are going to get exactly enough advancement off of this research creature to get another advancement point. We do not need both of them doing this. So we could do that granite thing. Obviously, it's getting to be the case that advancement points are hard to come by, so it would really suck to waste one. Let's build ourselves a boat real fast. And yeah, it's probably just... the boat's just going to be made out of a ton of wood, I think. I don't know that we want to spend anything else on it, given that we don't naturally have a lot of good sources of bloodbone or anything. So that's what it'll be. We don't actually have enough wood for that right now. Alright. Power chop wood. And then... how do we still have so little fish? Let's just stockpile grain for the winter then. You can help with... so one of the elements of the higher difficulty level is that the amount of progress that rolls over on the bars is reduced. So that's why I'm a little bit reluctant to put somebody on a thing that's already completing once per turn. Throw pebbles seems terrible. Reliable argument seems fine. Yeah, there's no way we want throw pebbles. Bozidar doesn't really... these are not... they're not really the stats that I want. Like the wrong one of each color. Whatever, we'll take the Destiny. And Zosha... yeah, showing off is actually pretty powerful for Zosha. Okay, so how much wood did we actually need? Oh, we have enough now. Let's get the Master Craftsman on this. We could get this done in one turn, right? Build ourselves a boat. I am uncertain at the moment whether we want to do that granite thing with our advancement point. So let's go and build a boat and try to sail around and see if we can maybe find a source of granite or happen upon something. Basically, figure out whether we need to spend this advancement point on that or whether we can use it for something more valuable. Fortunately, we are very, very close to another landmass here. So if we were going to adventure out that way, It would definitely be you and the witch and the warrior. And do we leave everybody else at home? I think so. Yeah, carry this sailboat with you. And half the food, and honestly, probably most of the wood. Okay, so we really just, we need to power gather wood for a minute here. Probably need to do the same thing with fish for a moment, just until we kind of get back to something approaching equilibrium. And then we want to get in the water as quickly as possible, because the boat is probably faster than we are on foot, although we are actually very close to its encumbrance limit. As far as sailboats go, this is not a very good one. Good time to be traveling out on the ocean, though. Okay, so the first thing I immediately notice is that this island's resources are not actually a lot better. Oh hey, granite. Oh, that's dragon bone, that's something. There's enchanted leather over there. This is actually... Never mind that thing I just said. And those are mushroom people. Those are people from a mushroom faction. They're ghosts. Mushroom ghosts. Well, they're listed as strength 3. So it's entirely possible we could just take them. But maybe we don't have to. Maybe we could talk to them. Let's find out. You know, we'll never know otherwise. Oh, I used all my movement getting on land. Well, then we will just chill out for a moment here. Actually, should we camp? We should probably camp, right? Because we're losing sanity every turn due to the wind. May as well replenish a little bit. And I think I am, in fact... Now that we know we can go here to get granite, I think I do want to spend the advancement point on granite, because that means we have access to a reasonable level of every resource, right? Dragon bone... Where's the dragon bone on the resource chart? It's right here. I do wish this mouse over told you what the essence count was. We can check it by doing a crafting recipe, going into design mode. Let's pick something that can have bone in it. Here we go. Okay, it's 1.4. That's pretty good. That's a lot of essence. So that might be the next thing we do with our advancement points. Let's try to get to Dragon Bone. And then we have good stone, good metal, good gems. We don't really have great leather. I mean, there's good leather down there. So yeah, I guess we still need advancement points to get the enchanted leather. But like, we have a lot of crafting opportunities here. All right, let's see what happens. An armed group of Spirit Talker Greenskins stand before you. Unfortunately, we have no option but to fight them. I will just accept that outcome. All right, well, we didn't get great loot there. You discover the remains of an old settlement. Find the scattered remains of an old Orcish settlement. In the old days, the clans were mostly nomadic, so this is a rare find. You soon realize that the area is riddled with traps, surely protecting something farther in. Allow intellect to clear your mind and find a path through these traps. Wow, we couldn't get there at all? Hold on, let's give that a try. This is a concept challenge. If we don't pull it off, it's no big deal. So we definitely want to commit you. Reliable argument skill's a little bit weak. Yeah, okay, I can totally see how this doesn't work out in our favor. We don't really want the witch taking the hit. Okay, that's pretty irrelevant, although it is going to serve as a pretty good blocker. I'm going to spread us out just a little bit, just in case they have some splash damage. Okay, so we definitely just have to play you again. We could throw down a mass lullaby, but I think we need the 11 damage. Do I want to play you over here? Because if I play her here, we're just shooting directly into that brain, which is not awesome, considering how ineffective it is in actual combat. The book is the only thing that's really dangerous. But I don't want her to get hit again. She's going to take 11 right here. Yeah, but I think we got to try to focus damage in the direction of the book, right? That's a pretty good start. Some of the yellow attacks just don't have a sound associated with them. I'm not sure why that is. Okay, I forgot that the magnifying glasses have that that annoying aimed attack. Wow, 36! Poison damage is a real thing. That sucks a lot. Absorbed a bunch of our good damage. Okay, but now the book is gone. We only have one character left, unfortunately, but the book is gone. Doesn't much matter where we play her, I don't think. I'm not expecting them to have any splash damage, but because we only have one person, it matters not at all where we play her. We just lose. We don't have the damage. It's close though. Yeah, if we had dealt just a little bit more damage there. The traps are old, simply smash them. I mean, it's a concept challenge, we may as well roll it. Okay. I'm not surprised by that. Difficulty 5. You leave with cuts and bruises and nothing more. You have arrived in the lands of darkness. Here the last remnants of the deadly black mist remain ever lingering, and the sun is constantly dimmed, creating a feeling of perpetual dusk. Beware of night terrors and creatures of the dark skulking in every corner. I have already disembarked. Despite its dangers, the Land of Darkness is home to the Spirit Talkers, goblin tribes that feel at ease in the dark, and take advantage of the thinned veil between this world and the grey world of the spirits. The Shadowkin, a more elusive and dangerous faction of those changed by darkness long ago, lurks in the shadows. The island is known for dragon bones and mushrooms. Okay, like these ones. So do we want Hunter's Mark on her, or Craftsman? It's hard for me to imagine when we would use Hunter's Mark, because her attacks are so important that, if we're spending the action points on her, we want to actually be attacking with her, right? Almost always. I guess Hunter's Mark is usable in all kinds of challenges. Yeah, and we have enough crafters, probably. I do not love the fact that we managed to get down quite so low on health while failing that challenge. It's really bad. It's actually, someone's gonna die. Almost certainly, right? He's negative health. He's just going to die, and there's nothing we can do about it. That sucks. It's not 100% guaranteed, but it seems pretty common that people on negative health die on the check. Okay, he did not die on the check. I'm definitely not moving until after he's recovered enough. We're going to stay camped. I guess, actually, I'm being a little silly, though. We could stay camped in this space and at least be gathering granite. And then back home, we now have the stone to do the thing we were going to do. No, we don't. Oh, the Chosen. When you do the advancement, the Chosen gets the 10 resource. So we can't build that till we get back. I mean, it's not a big deal, because the person who wanted the javelin is out on the expedition. So it's not 100% clear to us whether we're seeing more difficult challenges here because this is a different island, or because it's late enough in the game. The difficulty of stuff does seem to ramp up over time, but this definitely makes me leery of moving to a new island right at the beginning of the game. I think we could get ourselves into some serious trouble like that, it seems. I really, really, really want to... Okay. We managed to survive until we healed up. So what is the gather rate on this? In 2 turns, we'd get another load. I kind of think we want to just head back. We're in pretty dire straits here. Maybe it's worth exploring a little more. I'm definitely nervous about getting into another bad situation and losing a bunch more health. But I guess let's look around a little bit. There's another group of spirit talkers. Since we do not have the ability to parlay with them for whatever reason, I think it probably makes a lot of sense to just run. Yeah, I'm just going to head back home. We learned something valuable here. Like the location of a lot of resources. I guess we can run along the coast a little bit. As long as we maintain a tiny amount of movement so that we can get back in the water, we can reveal some more tiles here. Ooh, there is a ruin. Yeah, alright, maybe this is inadvisable, but let's go check it out. That's a shame. We just barely can't gather that in 1 turn. Are we on health? Okay, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to reassign this a little bit. We'll sit here for a couple of turns, so we'll actually be able to pull a fair number of herbs. And how are we doing on cooked food? Okay, we still have a ton of everything. The rat's been cooking fish cakes like crazy. That's why we never have any fish. The rat is such a prolific cook. Prolific the word I want there? Not really. You know what I mean. That rat sure does cook good. I want to see if we can get our warrior's health up a little bit more before we... Ooh, 2 strength. Before we engage over here. Okay. I was uncertain whether this was one of those games where leveling up gives you back a bunch of your health. Turns out it is not. Getting pretty close to winter when it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass to keep our expeditions fed with wood. But during winter... Okay, it's only showing us the current information. During winter, I think you get extra XP from events, if I'm remembering correctly. So, I mean, there certainly are some reasons to be out adventuring. Let's do like 1 or 2 more turns of sitting here, and then we'll head across. Oh, just in time to be threatened by some spooky ghosts. Well, we don't have to fight them. This will spend 5 of our points of movement. As you scour some old ruins for loot, you notice you're not the first to arrive. Investigate. Okay, scavengers. Let's offer a deal. We are trying to be friendly right now. I don't know if these scavengers are actually affiliated with any of the factions we know, so let's try to be friendly. Wait, victory with injuries. I just clicked before I even really read that. We should have been able to do a level 1 challenge without any injuries. Let's trade with them and leave. Okay, they don't have anything good. I guess I'm not shocked by that. What I was figuring there is that if we're seeing a level 1 challenge here, then probably the loot from the actual, the thing itself is probably not even worth the 20 food. Let's just leave. We got the research points. That's what we really came for. And then into the water and away. Let's get back to town and then we'll wrap up for the episode. Oh dear. As you plow through a stormy patch on the seas, you are caught by an unexpected gust of wind that assails your deck as if trying to get inside. Your boat is becoming really unsteady as a result, and there are rocks ahead. Well, I think a difficulty 3 red challenge should be very doable with these people. You kill the demon, and the winds calm in time for you to maneuver your boat to safety. So, hey, that's a pretty good wand, actually. It's a reasonably good bow. I think that spear is about as good as the one that we currently have equipped. Robes are kind of whatever. Spike leather's cool. Alright, I have to imagine we want to grab craftsman here, right? There is some chance that this goblin child is not going to be able to grow up into anything cool, and is just going to become another craftsman. And if that's the case, we'll be glad we took this. Alright, so how much are we continuing to advance toward being able to actually do this Red Ridge thing? Honestly, I don't know. I don't feel like it's a ton. We did stuff this episode, but I still definitely don't feel ready for this challenge. Although, to be fair, we don't really know what the difficulty of this challenge is going to be. Alright, so we want to go... Well, if we do granite and gold instead of gold and granite, we end up with slightly more essence. Yeah, we get 1.1 and 0.9 instead of 1.1 and 0.8. I think that's probably the way to do it. 1634, huh? With 25% chance of producing garbage. Turns out these wild resources are kind of hard to work with. I mean, we're not going to get anywhere near doing this in 2 turns. So hold on. Can we get it down to... Or we're not going to get anywhere near doing it in 1 turn. So can we get it down to 3 without spending all of our best gatherers doing so? Yeah, like the Goblin Kid could kick in, and then basically anybody, right? Do we want to be putting 2 people on it? Is between the 2 of them, they have better gathering than the rat, and the rat has enough crafting to push us over. A set of javelins crafted by 2 goblins and a rat. Of course they're going to be great. How could they not be? So what do we really need to be gathering here? We don't really need to be cooking, that's for sure. We have plenty of the foods that we know how to make. We don't have any meaningful research to do, so I guess all these people are going to do is gather. Fruit gathering's a little inefficient right now. I guess we still need fish. We'll just take some of that bad rollover. Still need wood, because we end up using a lot of wood for building, and then, like, gold is both important as a crafting resource and important as a trade good. Let's get our javelins finished, and then we will sign off. I'm really getting into, like, oh, just one more turn mode here. I could end up playing all day. Oh, this is not the screen I want. Here we go. Yep, we made garbage quality. That's frustrating. I feel like we hit that 1 in 4 chance an awful lot this episode. Those aren't even actually better than the javelins I'm using. Well, we're just going to have to try again. I mean, if we did this right, if we actually got the thing that we were trying to build, they would be awfully good. That is, unfortunately, all the time is actually, like, way more time than I had for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time. We're going to have to go gather some granite and give this another go. And we'll see you then.